everybody, welcome back to the latest edition of Nanticoke Newsroom from... This isn't the Nanticoke Newsroom, the show's the Nanticoke Newsroom. This is actually called Office USA, that's what I called it, that's what my wireless router I named it as, that's my Wi-Fi, Office USA. So coming to you from Office USA, the Nanticoke Newsroom, live with my co-host, Jack the Cat, already on set, didn't need to jump up. And again, 3 days in a row, not baited, sitting there just like I asked him to. Anyhow, so why am I wearing a red, white, and blue shirt today rather than the Nanticoke Newsroom attire? Well, it was one of those patriotic days. I was asked by some people at the Nanticoke American Legion to come possibly do a story on the Nanticoke Boy Scouts putting flags up at the local cemeteries. You might have heard some places around the country won't let the Boy Scouts doing that, especially at federal cemeteries, but these are private cemeteries, and our American Legion said one way or another flags are going up in these cemeteries. And our Boy Scouts said, we're doing it. They asked their supervisors at the regional chapter. They said they got the A-OK as long as they socially distance. So the Boy Scouts went out with, most of them were asked to come be accompanied by a guardian or parent this year rather than a fellow Boy Scout. And they socially distanced and putting flags up at 8 Nanticoke cemeteries. I think it was 9, and 8 of them are right in one cluster. You think it's one big cemetery along Washington Street? No. It's the Nanticoke City Cemetery, St. Joe's, St. Francis, St. Stanislaus, and St. Mary's, and a couple other unaffiliated ones to the Catholic Church. I think there was an Orthodox Church and 2 I really didn't get the name of. But there was like 4,000 flags that they put up today, so great job by the Nanticoke Boy Scouts. So I was there on assignment doing that story. But, you know, while I was there, I took it upon myself to do a little walking around the cemeteries. I always find walking around cemeteries are fascinating. It's kind of like a step back in time. You look at the names and you see a lot of the old ethnic names of the town. Most of the names, you know, a lot of Polish names I couldn't even come close to pronouncing. There was this one that was like this long, I thought, but it was actually this long and this long, which is pretty big, and it had a hyphen. It was like the longest hyphenated Polish name I've ever seen. You also come across and see what happens, time does to cemeteries, and neglect. Neglect often is not anyone's fault. Family trees just kind of get cut off at some point. There was, you know, a family moves away and doesn't even know these relatives, let alone need to take care of their cemetery plot. There was this one I came across, Sophie Baldego. You know how it says the year you're born, hyphen, and the year you died? Like the whole family, all the plots had year you're born and died. Sophie, born in 1910, but it never was filled in. An ending date. So either Sophie's 110 years old, or the family tree just got cut off before anyone could put the final date on there. So Sophie, could anyone find out what happened to Sophie? I guess that's assignment for me. Anyway, here's some photos of my walk through the cemeteries today. Enjoy. Okay, and after my walk, and after the Boy Scouts were done, I witnessed them, and I've never witnessed this before. What they do is the dignified retirement ceremony of all last year's old flags. They put it on one big pile, put a couple big tattered U.S. flags on top of it, and salute and light it on fire.
Salute.
Well done, Nanticoke Boy Scouts. Thanks for having me along. Okay, the Jack the Cat feature of the day. Maybe I don't even need the Jack the Cat feature of the day. I should just go, here's the Jack the Cat feature of the day. He's sitting next to me. Oh, sorry, buddy. Sit next to me. How are you, buddy? That could be the Jack the Cat feature. No, this is the first photo I've ever took of Jack. My sister's like, hey, go in my apartment. It's open. And go try to get along with my cat to see if you guys will be a good fit. And I kept going up to the cat, and he was kind of friendly, but you know, he's a scaredy cat with new people, even now. And I'm like, meow, meow. Like every cat I've ever like dealt with ever would always like respond, make some kind of noise. And this cat was like just quiet. Like I didn't know if the cat was a mute or what. And he does that sometimes now. Meows back when I do that. But I really screwed up. I almost lost my custody of Jack before ever getting him because I went to my sister. I'm like, is Jack slow? And she didn't like that at all. But then me and Jack became good buddies, and we know he's a very intelligent, smart cat. So that's the Jack the Cat feature of the day, the first photo of us. The old photo of the day is very appropriate for today. It is from May of 2016, one of my 70-year salute vets, Sam Guarnari, who now is one of the 75-year salute vets. He's from the Pittston area, and I accompanied him when he was showing the young Boy Scouts a couple years ago the importance of putting flags at grave sites for Memorial Day. So Sam Guarnari, my buddy from Pittston, old photo of the day in my camera roll. The Laugh, Smile, and Cry award of the day, not award, feature. This obviously made me very much smile. My whole show, the beginning of yesterday's show, was all about the young teen from Wyoming area who died in that car crash and the outpouring of community support. His mother and aunt, who I talked to them yesterday, texted me earlier today. The article is absolutely beautiful, and we want to thank you so much. Like, can't get any better than that. I mean, that's kind of why I still do what I do. Like I said, I thrive at those stories, and at the worst time of that mother's life and that aunt's life, they felt some comfort in knowing that we told the world about their son, their nephew, and what kind of person he was. So that really warmed my heart. Also, Jake Bush's grandfather, Jody Bush, texted me, thanks, my man, for a wonderful article. So that was obviously something that made me smile today. And the Cliff Lewis random act of kindness today goes out to a lot of people, apparently more than 100, despite a lot of cautions about how to conduct funerals these days. There was apparently a procession of at least 125 cars that followed the funeral procession for longtime Wilkes-Barre City advocate and employee Bill Brace, very well-known and popular guy. A lot of well-known people in Wilkes-Barre took it upon themselves to say, no, we're not letting Bill Brace go out quietly like he shouldn't. And they accompanied his family to his final resting place. So that was a pretty nice sight to see. So that is the show for today. And watch, I'm going to pull a fast one on Jack since I'm wearing this shirt today. We don't need to get his big fat butt off the shirt because we have two Nanticoke Newsroom shirts. So while Jack is asleep at the switch, I'm going to pull a fast one on you. Ha! Anna, take her away.
Stay safe out there.